we should have Ruhu Ruhan with Baba. And what is Ruh Ruhan? Ruh Ruhan is a heart-to-heart conversation with Baba. And I don't know whether this is a good translation of the word Ruh Ruhan, because Ruh Ruhan includes the word Ruh, which means I, the soul, talk to my Father, the Supreme Soul, about spiritual matters. And when we say Ruh Ruhan, then it means that the Ruhu is talking to the Supreme Ruhu about the Ruhu, which means, the soul talking to the Supreme Soul about spiritual matters. And this is a very interesting and novel kind of a, conversation that Baba teaches us. And let me tell you a story that I heard many years back. So there is this story of a boy who leaves his, he's a what, I don't know, what do you call them, somebody who takes their cattle to graze. So we call it Gadaria in Hindi, I don't know. So somebody who maintains the herd of sheep or cow and then they take them to graze. So this person is the cattle manager or something, and he takes them to graze. And while his sheep is just grazing, then what he does is he starts talking to God. So just like that, he talks to God, and he says, you are sitting up there and I'm sitting here, and you have also left your cattle to graze, and I have also left my cattle to graze, and now we are both free, so we can talk to each other. And he used to just talk to God. And he was a little boy, and then there's a priest who is passing by that path, and that priest sees this boy, and he says, what are you doing? So the boy says, I'm talking to God. So the priest says, oh my God, you can't do that. You can't talk to God like this. You can't just talk to God like whatever you want to talk to about. There is a way to talk to God. And then he tells him that you have to learn Sanskrit, and then you have to learn the scriptures, and then there is a certain decorum of how you talk to God. And then when you learn that, only then can you talk to God. Otherwise, it will be very wrong on your part, and it will be a sin if you talk to God just like that. And then, that fear is instilled in the child, and from the next day, he stops talking to God. So this is a story which I heard many years ago, and you see that we are always told to talk to God in a certain language or in a certain method, and you have to chant hymns and praises, and you have to do some kirtan or bhajan if you want to talk to God, and that's the only method you talk to God with. So in bhakti, that's what we are taught. And then even if we talk to God, let's talk about that, that boy. He talked to God, but what did he talk to God about? He talked to God about matters of this world, right? And because this is the world he knew. But when we talk to, now Baba teaches us how to talk to him. And there is this conversation we have with Baba. Do you talk to Baba? Yes? Do you bare your heart to Baba? So we talk to Baba. But the thing is, what do we talk to Baba about? Do we talk to Baba? Do I stabilize myself in body consciousness? and then talk to Baba about worldly matters. And if I talk to Baba about worldly matters, then what will Baba tell me? Because you see, the world is collapsing. And if you want to hold on to the world and you are telling Baba that, protect this, protect that, make this all right, or reform that, or change that, then Baba has got nothing to tell you in that. Baba would just think that, this child has not read the Murli today. So Baba would probably tell you, go and read the Murli. You will get all the answers. And I'll tell you, this is what I do. So, mostly when children come and they say that, this is something that I want an answer to, that is something, and immediately I have this thought that, today's Murli is answering all of this. Or maybe if I've read tomorrow's Murli, I tell them, read tomorrow's Murli as soon as it comes and it has your answers. And I think, if you talk to Baba about worldly matters, he would tell you, I've already given you the solution, and what more do you want to hear from me? But the real conversation that we have to have with Baba is talking to Baba about spiritual matters. And when we talk to Baba about, how I am with Baba, so you talk to Baba about Sangam Yug, you talk to Baba about how it is a great fortune that, I'm here in Sangam Yug, and as a soul, when you talk about spiritual matters, the truth is this, I'm here in the most fortunate time, most auspicious time of the whole cycle. And when you talk to Baba about that see Baba, I'm here with you, and I'm here in the most auspicious time of the cycle, and you are here to give me the inheritance of 21 births. And you had given me the inheritance of 21 births, and last cycle also I enjoyed the full inheritance, and here I am right now, and you're again, with me. And when you talk to Baba about spiritual matters, or you talk to Baba about how Baba is filling you with the truth and the light and the love, and you think about or you appreciate, the kind of sustenance or the recharge that Baba is giving you, then what happens is it increases your intoxication. Yes, it increases your intoxication. It brings you to a realization of your great fortune. It brings you to the realization of the fortune that you're creating, because we are in the diamond age, and we are going to the golden age. And I think when you talk to Baba about spiritual matters, when you talk to Baba about the soul, about Sangam Yug, about Satyug that's coming, or you talk to Baba about how we live together in the soul world, then you are filled with that joy, that happiness, that intoxication. And in the world, it is always said that if you want to be happy, then you must do two things. One is have a journal of, counting your blessings. So, just count your blessings. Just count whatever you've got. And then the second thing is having gratitude. That's also a very good method of feeling happy. And I think, in my experience, you cannot be body conscious and count your blessings or have gratitude. Because in body consciousness, we don't have the capacity to have gratitude. Or even if when we have gratitude, we have the ego to have gratitude also. Yes, and then second thing is you really can't, you don't have, when you're body conscious, then whatever you think is a blessing is material. And when you think about material stuff as blessings, then that material stuff is very transient. It's there today and gone tomorrow. So rather than, whenever you start to count it, there's also this thought that comes that, it's there today, I'm happy, but I want it to be there tomorrow. And then all that, that instinct of a beggar arises in you, and you start thinking about whether it will be there or not tomorrow. So Baba says that, really, when we talk to Baba about, spiritual matters, then I think this includes both of these things. So you really talk about blessings, because when you talk to Baba about himself, then Baba is the bestower of blessings, and Baba is giving us his blessings in the form of knowledge, love, purity, inheritance, so many things, power. So when you really talk to Baba about Baba, then you count your blessings. You start feeling that fullness of how much I have received from Baba. And you have so much of gratitude for what Baba is given and what Baba is giving for the future. And I think, this is the reason why, so in the world, Baba tells us that everything that we do in Sangam Yuga is remembered in the world. So probably counting blessings and having deep gratitude is something that we truly do in Sangam Yuga. But later it is remembered, and people say that count your blessings, have gratitude. But in body consciousness, there is not much scope to do that. So Baba says that just have this Ruhan with me. And when you do that, your intoxication will never be less. And in one of the Murlis, maybe day before yesterday, Baba said that those children who have a high intoxication, the spiritual intoxication, when you have it all the time, then you can be of great service, because people look at you and they think, what have they got that they are in such masti and they have this great spiritual intoxication. So this is one thing that Baba says. And another thing that takes away our intoxication is our attachment. So, when we have attachment, so I am Baba's child and I am taking so much sustenance and love and power and the intoxication that I am going to be a deity from Baba. But then when you are in attachment with people, places and things of the old world, then what happens is you are like this mountaineer who is climbing the mountain but who has a rope tied around his waist. And that rope, the other end of the rope, is held by someone who is down. And whenever they want, they can just, snap at it and pull you down. So however much you climb, your rope is in the hands of one that is down below, and they can pull you down anytime. So that's the condition of a Brahman who has attachment. And when you have attachment with the old world, with someone or something of the old world, then that attachment will pull you down anytime. And you see, right now, you may have so much of intoxication that Baba is here and Baba is filling my aprons and I'm going to be a deity. And then suddenly, you receive a phone call that somebody you are attached to is not well. And then suddenly your heart starts sinking. So why? Because all that intoxication will be lost if you have attachment. So Baba says, if you want that intoxication to be maintained, so A, you have this deep spiritual heart-to-heart conversations with Baba, and B, you win over your attachment. It tells us something very beautiful that, just think about this one sentence. You have a lot of attachment with hell. Does it sound good? Can anybody have attachment with hell? It doesn't look proper, So when you have attachment with hell, it is hell. But then why do you have attachment with this hell? Is because you don't realize it is hell. Yes, so Baba says the more you think about the difference between heaven and hell, and come to the realization that this is actually hell, then you will not have attachment with hell. I remember, there was, I was, I think, in the fourth standard or something, and I had this packet of cashews with me, and I was eating it, and I gave it to my friend in school, and I told, you also eat. And then she said, I don't eat cashews. So I said, you don't eat cashews? Who doesn't eat cashews? Cashews are tasty, you should eat it. So then she said, no, I don't eat cashews. So I said, why? But why don't you eat cashews? So she said, once I opened a packet and ate a cashew and it was rotten. And whenever I look at a cashew, I have that memory gets triggered that, this will taste like that. And then I have this very strong aversion to even looking at it. And she said, I hate it from that time. So you see that it's all here. So when you have a memory of something that is, something that was bitter or it tasted very bad, then next time you can't taste it, you don't like it, you don't want it. And Baba says that memories are created through knowledge also. So, when you churn knowledge enough, it changes into smriti. So, Baba tells us that manan, chintan, manthan, simran and smriti. So, when you think about something very deeply, then it becomes a part of your awareness. Yes, so it's not that you have to taste something, or how you don't have to be traumatized by actual actual experience of the bad world, but you can just churn on Baba's Gyan and create the awareness that this is an old world which has got nothing to offer. And you see that there are many people who have vairagya from this world. So, because what is vairagya? Complete disinterest in this world. And they don't have any attachment, they don't like anything in this world. And mostly those people are vairagis because they have had this bad experiences, and then they realize that this world is not good. But Baba says that you can have complete disinterest, you can be free from attachment if you just churn on the knowledge and churn on the state of the world today. And you see, Baba today gives us two examples. Baba says, in this world today, somebody becomes a king, a leader today, and the next day they are pulled down. Yes, they are no longer anybody. Yes, and second thing Baba says is, you have a child today, you celebrate, and tomorrow the child is dead, and then you mourn that death of that same child. So you look at this world that there is really nothing which can guaranteed, you can guarantee that this is going to stay. And when you think about the nature, the ever changing nature of this world, and how suddenly and how without any indication things are changing, and how this is a collapsing world, then you will have great disinterest or lack of attachment in this world. And I remember, there was this one Mata, she once came and she told me that I come for the classes, and when I came to the class, I hated my mother in law and I did not like anything that she said or did. And when you told me that, everybody is a soul and we shouldn't have attachment and expectation, and I liked that knowledge, and I applied it on my mother in law, and my life is much better. But I have a husband also, and that husband is very loving. And because he is very loving, so when I apply the same gyan to him, that he's a soul, and then everything is so you don't have to have any attachment or expectation. I don't like the gyan at that time, because I like to be attached to my husband and I like what he's giving me. So she said, I don't understand, this gyan applies very well when I apply to my mother-in-law, but when I apply to my husband, I'm really confused. So then I told her, so she said, why shouldn't I have attachment to somebody who is loving and caring? And I enjoy that attachment, because if I have detachment there, I feel like I'm depriving myself from all the attachment and care that I would feel if I were in attachment. So I told her, I'll tell you something which is true, but it is the truth, and truth can sometimes shake you up, but just think about it. So she said, yes. So I said, your husband is very loving, very caring. Agreed. But is he eternal? Is he going to be there for you always? So then she said, no. So I said, and if somebody is not eternal and then you are attached to them, then what will it eventually lead to? So she said, lot of pain. So you see that this is why Baba says that, when something is transient, when something is not permanent, even if it is right now giving us happiness, the nature of it is going to change. And just think about, where we say change is the only constant, but then what is the biggest problem of people in the world today? Change. Everybody is crying that this one changed and that one changed and this situation changed and that situation changed, and we have this very adversarial relationship with change, although we know that change is the only constant. So Baba says, you must understand that this is an old world, and anything that is old is very undependable. You cannot depend on it, because it can give away any time. It can just collapse any time. So Baba says, when you hold this in your awareness, then you will build that detachment while living in this world. And when you have detachment, then Baba says, when you have become the conqueror of attachment, only then can you keep your intoxication of what you get from Baba permanent, and that intoxication will not be lost. So this is something that Baba says. And then today Baba says that Baba gives us the instant fruit of knowledge. And this instant fruit is very precious. So you see that you go to any satsang, you go to the church, you go to the mandir, you go anywhere, you go to the mosque, you go anywhere, you don't get knowledge there. Yes, you get the paraphernalia of bhakti, and you get how you worship, what you offer, or you get to read something, listen to something, but that's not knowledge. That doesn't shift the quality of your life or your future. And Baba says, the moment you enter Baba's house, the moment you come to Baba, remember day one of when you took the course. First day itself, Baba starts giving us this instant fruit of knowledge. Just like, when you eat a fruit, it immediately fills your stomach and gives you nutrition and strength. Similarly, this knowledge is food for the soul. And of course, if you keep eating good fruit, then your life is longer and then you lead a good life. That's there. But then instantly also you get so much. So Baba says, one thing is that based on this knowledge, you get 21 births of inheritance. That's also there. But then you get this instant fruit of knowledge. And you see, the first day we come to Baba, we learn that, I'm a soul and it is I who am thinking, I am the one who is taking decisions, I am the one who is performing actions, and it immediately changes you into the master of the body. Yes, and until then we are the slaves of the body. And Baba says this is the instant fruit. From being a slave, you become a master. And you see, Baba tells us that I am not everywhere. I am the ocean of knowledge, ocean of truth, the ocean of love, peace, power. These are my qualities, and I live in the soul world. And when you take your buddhi to the soul world and remember me, then you receive everything from me. And this is the knowledge of how to remember Baba, or this is the knowledge of what Baba is like. And when we receive this knowledge, we don't have to wander anywhere anymore. You don't have to have many figures, figurines, temples, this, that. You just, anywhere you sit, you just take your buddhi to Baba, and Baba starts giving you all the experience of all relationships and all attainments, all powers, all virtues. So this knowledge is very powerful. And then you see, Baba tells us about the story of the cycle. And this story of the cycle, this knowledge of this cycle, it frees us from all complaints, all comparisons, because you don't complain, because you understand that every soul is going round and round and they have a pretty fixed part in themselves. So, they have a whole part recorded in themselves and they can only be themselves every cycle. And when you know that, all your complaints finish, because everybody is playing their own part and they can't do anything about it, can they? So that's their prefixed part in the drama. And then you know that you are not like anybody. You have your own prefixed part in the drama, which you repeat every cycle. So then that is also such a freeing, realization. And Baba says, this is the instant fruit of knowledge that I give. And Baba today points out a very important point also, that when we think of ourselves as bodies and we think of ourselves as children of our Lokik parents, yes, so our Lokik parents have given us the inheritance of vices. Yes, so the Lokik parents have given us the inheritance of vices, and it is from Lokik parents we learn to be, so in the name of being ambitious, we learn to be greedy. In the name of being, a family person, we learn attachment. So, it's Lokik parents who teach you how can you not cry when somebody is dead, or, how can you not rejoice when somebody is there. So, so they teach you all these things, to cry and laugh based on somebody's presence and absence. And if you are not behaving like that, then they say you're not a family person, you're very aloof. And then they teach you ego also. They'll tell you you got the fifth rank or the sixth rank, or you got, you failed, and look how shamelessly you're laughing, and you don't have any shame, and you must lose your happiness every time you get a bad grade, or something doesn't happen according to what you expected. And I don't know how magically that sets everything right, but but that's what you learn from Lockic parents. They teach you all these stuff, and they teach you how to lie, because they tell you that the world is very diplomatic, and then you can't say everything the way it is, and then in the name of diplomacy they teach you all kinds of lies. And then they teach you. And I remember, there was this one Kumar, he was coming for course, and he said that I used to get bullied in school. So he said that my friends used to just gang up and just tell me that tu to bacha hai, tu to bacha hai, you're a kid, you're a kid. And they would just tell me he doesn't understand anything, crack a joke before him, he won't understand, he's a fool, he's a kid. So they would just keep bullying me like this. And then my father taught me how to shout and scream at them, and then just discourage them. And he taught me how to abuse also. So he said that, I don't know whether so he said that in the short run, yes, it helped me, because it helped me fight the bullies, but now I have become a bully myself. So he said that I am the one who is screaming and shouting all the time. So I don't know whether that has done any good, and I am suffering because of that, because now whenever I see something wrong, I am only shouting and screaming, and that's my response to it. And that's why I want to do the course. He had come like that. So this is also an example. And then Baba says, parents teach children the vice of lust. And ever since children are born, they keep talking about marriage and your wife, your husband, and this and that. This comes from parents. And if it's a girl, they'll keep telling the girl is 3-year-old, 4-year-old, and then they will start sowing this seed. You will go to your house, and there in that house this will happen and that will happen, and these stories are fed into you. And then they will paint a rosy picture of how a life of lust and marriage is the most beautiful life, and it has to be looked forward to. And these are the things that parents do. So Baba says that these seeds that Lockic parents sow of vice, I am the one who comes and tells you that you are a soul. I am your parent, that's not your parent, that's just your soul brother, sister. And Baba says that I tell you that your nature is to be completely pure, completely viceless, and that is who you are. And when you realize that, you start going back to your purity. And all that thing that we take as inheritance from parents, because they come from Lockic parents, we never take it with a pinch of salt. It is always like, carved in stone that this is it, this is the way to be, this is the correct, the right way to be. And we don't have the courage to question that, because we don't want to earn the wrath of parents, or we don't want to go against Lockic parents. But when Baba comes and he tells us that it's our nature, it's the design of the soul to be completely vices, and there is absolutely no need for lust, anger, ego, attachment, greed. And he also gives us the substitute for that. He gives us self-respect, He gives us motivation, spiritual motivation. You don't have to be motivated by attachment or greed. He tells us to win over your sensual desires. You have to have this deep intoxication of Baba's love. And Baba says that I'm the one who, when you come to me, I give you the knowledge that you are completely pure, and this knowledge gives you the instant fruit of being pure and thereby peaceful and happy, because there cannot be peace and happiness without purity. So Baba says, I am the one who is giving you the instant fruit of knowledge, and based on this instant fruit, you get the Bhavishya fruit also, the Bhavishya Phal or the future fruit, which is 21 births of Satyugi, kingdom. Okay, Om Shanti.